All right, welcome to this week's TESPN Podcast. We're going to get you guys caught up on what's been going on in Titan sports. We got a guest coming in a little bit here for an interview, which is going to be Jackson Hart from the boys cross country team. This week we're going to roll out our Player of the Week segment, where our crew is all going to give their Players of the Week for this week. But I want to start with just updating on how some sports are going. So, Daniel, tell us some scores from recent games.
So, varsity soccer had a 3-0 win against Norfolk Academy, and varsity field hockey had a 2-0 win against Collegiate, and varsity tennis had a 6-3 win against Cumberland School.
Nice. So some great wins for those sports. Also, like I said, we're going to hear about boys cross country in a few minutes with Jackson. Girls cross country had a meet at Patrick Henry High School this past weekend. They took 6 girls there from 5 different grades, which was cool. They had an 8th grader, a 9th grader, a 10th grader, 11th grader, and then 2 seniors who made that trip. And I know Ms. Weiler was really proud of their efforts on that one. And then for volleyball update, we actually going to be broadcasting volleyball tomorrow night against St. Anne's Belfield. So tune in for that, which will be Friday, October the 8th, 5:45. That'll be our first volleyball broadcast we've done this year. And then football has been on a kind of a double bye week because the Stab game got canceled with them having some contact tracing, and then this week was always going to be a bye. So, Sam, as a football player, what's it been like? You played 5 games in 5 weeks, had that momentum, and then now you go basically 3 weeks between games. What's that been like?
Well, it wasn't expected because all last week we were getting ready to go for a game, and then it got canceled Wednesday, I think. Mm-hmm. So that was disappointing, but it is what it is. So we just, in practice, got to keep a business mentality. We're there to work, and we got to stay ready because we know our time's going to come, and once we get there, we got to be ready to perform.
Yeah, I think everybody's excited for that Fort Union game coming up next weekend. We only had 1 home game, so I know that Titan Nation is excited to come out and see you guys play on this beautiful turf behind us here at Aycock Stadium.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a great day. We're really excited to go out. We've been working to get healthy, working on our technique, game planning, so we'll be ready to go for sure. Nice.
All right, well, going to bring in here Jackson Hart and talk to senior captain from boys cross country. All right, this week's guest on our TESPN podcast, we got senior boys cross country runner Jackson Hart, and we're going to ask him a few questions.
Hello, I'm Hagan Andrew. And Jackson, what was going through your head while you were running? Did you expect to get this good of a PR?
No, I did not actually. I was not feeling good. I was actually had a knee injury all week, so I was feeling pretty sore. I didn't feel too great. I started off very fast. I kind of took off at the beginning. It was probably not very smart. Could see not like that part. But I came through the first mile at 5:34, I think, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm going way too fast. I turned it down a little bit because I didn't want to waste all my energy because I still had 2 more miles left. But in the end, I pushed through and finished with a 19:21.
So yeah, last race you got a very big PR, but all week, you weren't feeling great, as you said. So how did Coach C help you through that process and be able to perform?
Coach C, he told me to play it smart. He said, if you're feeling it that day, go at it. And if you're not, tone it down. Don't go too hard. But that was smart. I kind of personally just kind of went all out. I always go all out in every race. But Mr. C definitely cares, and he wants me to get better.
So I've been informed that there's been a deadly case of shin splints going around the cross-country team. Has this impacted you at all, or the team?
Personally, no. I've not. I've had dealt with shin splints before. I know what they truly feel like. But the team itself, a lot of guys are getting them. They're getting rest. I know Junior Sam McQuaid has been hurt all season. He's been on the bike a lot. He's still been running races, going hard. And then I know a few guys, first-year guys, have been getting shin splints, and that's a brutal reality for them. But we're all going at it, going hard, and we're going to finish the season strong.
All right, Jackson. So it's your senior year. Is it probably your last year running cross country?
Yes, definitely. It definitely is. I'm good at I'm definitely fast at cross country, but college level is different. And I was also planning to play college cross, and so can do both.
Yeah, so you repping the Titans lacrosse on the sweatshirt.
So since it's your senior year, like, what's your, I don't know, what moment are you gonna remember the most, or what is gonna be left behind in your head when you think about running cross country for Trinity?
It would definitely got me better physically, and then mentally, it's just another level. Freshman year I played football. Mentally, I was pretty strong, but like cross country, it's all physical. Anyone can run 3 miles, but mentally to go that fast and stay strong has definitely helped me mentally a ton.
That's awesome. All right, we're gonna do a few quick questions, lightning around here. Favorite restaurant or favorite meal?
Chicken parm, easily.
Chicken parm. Your mom makes it?
Depends on the day. Restaurant, my mom makes it. I make it a lot, actually. I've dabbled in the cooking.
Is that your favorite thing to cook?
Probably.
How about favorite cross-country course that you've run on?
Definitely the last one where I PR'd. The hills in the second mile was fun going up and down.
And that was at Patrick Henry?
Yes, sir. It felt fast.
All right, speaking of favorite courses, what's been your favorite class at Trinity?
Favorite class at Trinity? I do enjoy my Latin class quite a bit. Mr. Farrow makes it really engaging and fun.
Who's your favorite classmate in your Latin class?
Definitely not Sam Ward. I'm going to keep that on the down low. No one knows.
Dream job.
Dream job? Dream job. Working for SNL. The Weekend Update with Colin Jost and Michael Che. Easily.
Where'd you go to middle school?
Middle school? Tuckahoe Middle School. Yes, sir.
What's your favorite talk show?
Favorite talk show?
TESPN Podcast.
Nice. I think that may be a good one to end it on. All right. Well, thanks, Jackson. Thanks so much for being our guest this week, and good luck the rest of the season.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Wrapping up today's TESPN Podcast. We're starting a new segment this week. Our Players of the Week across all Titan sports. The crew here on the podcast has each chosen someone that they want to recognize as this week's Player of the Week. So, Daniel, who do you have in Trinity Athletics Player of the Week for this first week here in October?
My Player of the Week is Quinn Slagle on the varsity soccer team. He scored 5 goals in the last 3 games.
Wow. Big production there from Quinn. DJ, who you got?
This week I got Connor Simonton of the boys varsity soccer team. He had 2 goals in the last 2 games, both from the corner. Big games against Norfolk Academy and St. Chris, highly ranked teams. And like I said, really great goals. I saw one of them in person, another one live on, I think, St. Chris TV. And like I said, both big goals, big energy boost. So shout out Connor.
Yeah, so that's a couple senior soccer players there stepping up. I was actually going to say Quinn Slabaugh as well, Daniel, but so I'm going to slightly tweak it, though, since you already got Quinn, is Colin Flood, who also scored a bunch of goals, but in the St. Chris game, it came to my attention, we were down 3-2 in the last minute and got a penalty kick. And Colin was going to take it. He had scored a penalty kick against Norfolk Academy. But one of the St. Chris players is Colin's teammate for FC Richmond and knew which way he was likely to go on the PK. And he was talking to the St. Christopher's goalie, oh, Colin's going to shoot it here. So Colin, in I'd say an incredibly unselfish move, said, Quinn, they know where I'm going with it. So Quinn, I'm going to give you the ball. So not only did Quinn take it with pretty much no warning, which is hard for a PK taker, especially with the game in the balance, but I want to give a shout out to Colin, who, instead of padding his stats, knew they kind of probably knew where he was going with it and gave that ball to Quinn. So awesome teamwork there. Also want to shout out a Rookie of the Week in terms of a new to varsity athlete this year, and that's Mitchell Kugelman, also from boys soccer, who had a couple clean sheets against Benedictine and Norfolk Academy, and also made some key saves to keep that St. Chris game at tie. So a lot of boys soccer so far, but those guys are rolling on a unbeaten streak of 4 games or so, I think, right now. So I think they deserve some love for sure. Who you got, Griff?
Unlike y'all, mine is Valentina Roji Torres from field hockey. last game against Collegiate, she had 30 saves, which is almost unheard of. And from some of field hockey, they've told us that without her, it could have been easily 10 goals without her. So I'm going to give a huge shout out to.
And not only 30 saves, but 0 goals against.
Yeah, shut out.
It's one thing to just have 30 saves and they score 10. She had 30 saves and they scored 0.
Not even one.
That's awesome. Although, actually, Valentina told me, because they said 30 saves in the morning meeting, I was like, Valentina, 30 saves, that's incredible. And she said, actually, it was only 28. Who's ever heard an athlete exaggerate? You know, I'm used to basketball players who score 18 and go, oh yeah, I had 35. She actually had 30 and said and corrected. Said no, it was only 28. So not only was Valentina great in goal, but also wanted to make sure she wasn't getting too much extra props. But she deserves all that she can, helping preserve that huge win at Collegiate. All right, well, thanks guys. Great podcast this week. We got a bunch of TESPN broadcasts coming up. As we record this on Thursday morning, later today, we've got boys soccer against St. John Paul the Great, trying to keep their winning streak going. Tomorrow, we got volleyball against Stab. Tune in for that. And then next week, we're back at volleyball. And then, of course, football finally comes back next Saturday against Fork Union. So a lot of broadcasts coming up. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.